Give me a show of hands on how many of you know that diabetes is the seventh cause of death in the United States of America, according to the CDC. And there are also several types of diabetes. This topic is important because we need to be more educated on the different health risks associated with the different types of diabetes. Diabetes is chronic and is becoming very widespread throughout the United States of America. And to illustrate this, we will look at the three most common types of diabetes, the causes and symptoms of diabetes, and some treatments and prevention of diabetes. There are three common types of diabetes. There is type 1 diabetes that usually is diagnosed in children and young adults. There's type 2 diabetes that is usually diagnosed in middle-aged and older people. And then there is gestational diabetes that is diagnosed during pregnancy. All these types of diabetes also have different causes and symptoms. There are many different symptoms and causes of diabetes. In type 1 diabetes, the body does not produce insulin, and the immune system attacks and destroys the cells in the pancreas that makes the insulin. The exact cause of type 1 diabetes is unknown, but it is linked to genetics and environmental factors such as viruses. The symptoms come on very quickly and result in very low or high blood sugar, which is also known as blood glucose. In type 2 diabetes, the most common type, the body does not produce enough insulin or just doesn't produce it very well. According to an article I found called Diabetes Overview, about 90 to 95% of cases in the United States of America are type 2 diabetic. The symptoms develop slowly over a period of years. They can be so mild that people don't even know they have it. Some of the major causes are genetics, family history, obesity, just being overweight in general, and physical inactivity. Gestational diabetes is much like type 2 diabetes, except gestational is during pregnancy. And it could possibly go away after you give birth to your child. High blood sugar is a major symptom, and some of the major causes are hormones, genes, family history, and being overweight. Knowing all these causes and symptoms will allow us to prevent and find treatments of these different types of diabetes. And there are many treatments and ways of preventing diabetes. One way to treat, let's say, like type 1 diabetes, is you have to take insulin every day to stay alive. And like type 2 or gestational, sometimes just taking an oral medication will also help manage it. Another way of preventing type 2 and gestational diabetes is by eating fewer calories, and just by being more physically active. Going to the gym, doing cardio, like jumping jacks, walking, stuff like that will help with preventing it and managing it. Also, when you go to your doctor, they can detect what are called ketones in your urine, and they can that way they can diagnose and treat early on so it can be managed. And So again, diabetes is a chronic disease that has become more widespread in the U.S. We looked at 3 common types of diabetes, some causes and symptoms of diabetes, and some preventions and treatments of diabetes. Diabetes is a national epidemic. According to the CDC, out of a total population of the U.S., 29.1 million people have diabetes as of 2015. There are so many places to get information on diabetes to educate yourself so that maybe you can catch it early to manage it better. I have here a pamphlet from my mom who suffers from type 2 diabetes. It has so much different information in it. I mean, from what diabetes is all the way to meal planning. So, and it's from the American Diabetes Association, so it is from a reliable source. So if you're ever in the waiting room at the doctor's office or health department, pick one of these pamphlets up and educate yourself a little more on diabetes.